text me and I'll text you back.
Text me, then I'll text you back.
Text me, then I'll text you back.
You text me, then I'll text you back.
Text me, then I'll text you back.
TikTok, you don't stop.
I will help you make your paper stack.
Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now?
205-964-5243. Now you know. 205-964-5243. Now you know.
Good afternoon and welcome to today's live, where we're here to talk about real estate investing with a strong emphasis on wholesaling real estate, where your cash credit is irrelevant. Low risk, high reward opportunity. We all like those. So here's one for you. So we're here to answer your questions. We have a special little deal we do. If you want to go join us on the live stream, you can get pushed to the front of the line and ask multiple questions and get multiple answers. So text the word Gator to 205-964-5243, and we'll get you on. While we're allowing people to load and say hi, we say hi back. Get you some more good info tools to help you. This is your superpower. This is what puts it all together, the paperwork, knowing how to use it. So if you text the word contract, you can use the same contract we use still today. Been used since 2003, been giving it away since 2008. So I'm very confident when I say that it can be used anywhere. Text the word contract. That's for houses. If you need one for land, which we're going to be talking about that more and more, text the word earth to the 205-964-5243. And that particular video not only will show you how to access it for free at dealylater.com, but also how to fill it out for sellers and buyers. Text the word earth, earth. Okay. Piggyback off of that, if you need to know how to talk to landowners or just know the lingo and what to ask, how to build lists, text the word MUD, M-U-D, MUD to the number. Also, you want to partner with me on deals, text 5050. This is for houses, 5050 on apartments and self-storage. Text the word units if you want to partner on it. All right, so a lot of the things that we do, we use the right tools to make it easier to find deals, not to do deals, but to find deals, right? It's left up to us after that point. So text the word tool to this number, and that will give you instructions on how to access one of the same tools we use on a daily basis to make that happen. One of the most efficient ways you can start to generate leads is through cold calling, not CODE, but COLD, cold calling. Sellers, people that own real estate, saying, hey, do you want to sell? They say, yes, I want to sell. You say, hey, will you sell at this price? They say, yes. They say, deal, boom. If you want to put that on steroids and be efficient with your calling, text the word dialer to get your own automatic dialer and speed the process up, makes it less frustrating than when you're dialing from your actual smartphone. So text the word dialer to the number. All right. Some people want us to actually comp properties for them or simply just tell them if they have a great deal or not. If you want that, that takes manpower, but we got that option for you for a cup of McDonald's coffee a day. Text the letters FUP, fixed up price is what that means. FUP to the number and we'll get you fixed up. Boom. What else I got, Jessica? Am I missing something? I'm missing plenty, but
good deal.
Oh, good deal. There you go. Oh, that girl thing. So text the word GD. Most people fail in this business because they don't ever understand what a great deal is. People get so excited just because someone is talking to them about selling a piece of real estate. That's just the first part of it. You can get plenty of people that want to sell, but do they want to sell at a price that makes sense? Makes it a great deal where you can make some money off of it. So this is the starting point. Text the letters GD to this number. This video will explain in great detail on how that works. A huge part of the equation, whether you have a great deal or not, once you get under contract with a seller, guess what? You need these buyers. This video will help you understand how to do that. And I think that's enough of that. Wow, I'm getting good at that. Just a good smooth flow.
All right, so let's hear from YouTube first. The first question came from Sean Wimbush. He said, when an owner is on the DNC list, do you just contact them by mail or what? In what way?
Mail or just show up.
Okay.
Door knocking or mail.
All right. Robert said hello, greetings from Atlanta. We've got people saying hello from Northern Virginia. This one says, Ty, I noticed that you don't put much emphasis on wholesaling lease options. Is there a reason why?
I haven't done a lot of it myself. So I don't put a lot of emphasis on it, but that's definitely an opportunity that can be exploited. As a matter of fact, you'll probably get those opportunities quicker than just normal cash wholesale deals, lease options. If you don't know what that means, it's basically saying you rent to own. And they get rent to own with an option to rent it back out. And so that's something that you can wholesale, those terms or whatever, if just explain it in a simple way.
All right, this is on Instagram. This person asks, what would be the percentage in Texas, Pennsylvania, and Alabama? I have a few items on my radar, and I'm looking to put my first of many properties under contract.
For the most part, 70% is going to work. You may get away with 75% in maybe Austin, Texas, from what I know. Texas is a big place, but 70% is a good number for sure.
It's their birthday tomorrow, too. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. May 18th is your day. Cash out me and I'll cash out you back. More.
I don't have any questions now. Just people saying hello.
Oh, okay. Well,
from Southern California, Pittsburgh. People. Brian Keefe is telling them to hit the thumbs up. Somebody said they from North Texas. What's up?
North. Oh, I held that up because if you want to also, we talked about cold calling, but text messages is another way to generate leads. Text the word text for that, but I need to redo that.
This person is asking, I guess they text the word or letters FUP. The link is not working.
Oh, D-Later is down. I'm glad you said that. I reached out to my web guy, but it's saying the server is down. So that ain't nothing I can do. Ain't nothing he can do about it. Ain't nothing I can do about it. So hopefully that'll be rectified shortly. Bless you, GoDaddy. I mean, that ain't the word I mean, bless you, but you know.
Okay.
All right. This person is just making a comment. They said, my man putting us on some free games. Salute to you, brother. That's on TikTok. That's all I have for you. Oh, that I like your
Who?
Your it makes sense. Your what is it?
Oh, they normally don't?
Huh? No, but I'm just saying that's so cool.
Oh, it pops.
That's like
yeah. Yeah, it pops.
All right, I don't have anything right now.
You be shading your own.
You do? Oh, it normally don't.
No, I need some I like good feedback. Like, you know, that, hey, no, Ty, they normally don't hit. I'm like, sorry. Kid, you're so harsh. but no, okay. So that was really clear. It tells the story without having to read the title. Okay, so we're talking about the thumbnail on YouTube. If you don't know, just go to YouTube and do a search for I forgot what the title was today. The title today is, why y'all let me forget that? See, we need some cards up there. So I know that I need to do that. I need to do that. I need to do that on every, you know what I'm saying? And so
the whole wall gonna be covered up.
What was the title today?
Should you start wholesaling?
Should you start wholesaling houses or land first?
Okay, we'll get to that.
I'll get to that.
This one says, I texted you about a multi-unit flip. Do I go about that the same way I do a house flip?
Yeah, you want to submit it over there. But text me though. Also, I put a little bit more priority on those. Matter of fact, just text me because it may get lost in the what's the name right now. But text me. Are you dealing with the owner directly? It's not advertised anywhere on the internet. That's really all I need. Need to be off market on those now on apartments. Are you dealing directly with the owner? Not your buddy and your partner, you. Are you talking to the person that's on the deed?
Mm-hmm. All right, this one came from Kevin Solomon. He said, do you have all your text headings in one location where we can figure out which ones are needed?
Yeah. We've been saying we were going to do that, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
It's too many. Because then you have to describe each one on one. Because some of them don't automatically say what they are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some of them are obvious and some of them are not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what we can do about that. What do you think we can do about that?
We're gonna have to have a team meeting about that. I don't know.
You know what we can do? Here's what we can do. We can just go ahead and we create it all, type it all up, and just put it in the description of each video from this point forward. And then all they gotta do is just look at the description in the YouTube video in the description section, and it'll tell them what it's for.
Yeah, but they want to see like.
Oh, you know what we can do? You know what we can do? Is I can just create a page on Digulator and tell them what it is. Yeah. And we just tell them text.
That's
that
what
link.
I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
Because they might not go to the specific video.
Yeah, I got you. You're right. Yeah, so we that's smart. Greg had a good idea. And who is this?
Kevin.
Kevin had a great idea.
Kevin. All right. So let's see. Brian Keith said that he has his bandit signs today. Congratulations. Got
in the photo? Hey, well, he ain't on live stream, but okay, yeah, man. Make sure you watch the video, Flip Man Ride Along, or just put in Flip Man and bandit signs, and you'll see one that says Ride Along. Watch that video before you go crazy.
Okay.
The worst thing you can do is put them all out and they're down the next day. So you need to scout your market out, test a few at a time. They stay up a few days, then you go back and replenish.
All right. Raina Alexander said, what about in Southern California? Would you suggest wholesaling land or houses?
You're asking the question before I answer it. What's her name?
Raina.
Raina. I'm going to answer that shortly. Stick around.
All right. This one came from Robert. He said, American Real Estate Investment Groups, LLC. We're looking to do some JV deal, residential, commercial. Let's get it. Okay.
Hit me up, man. Hey, let's get it.
All right.
AREIG. That's it. AREIG.
Let's add the person to the chat because you be. All right. Let's add him to the chat.
Now the acronyms, man. You know what I'm saying? There he is. What's going on, my man?
I'm good. How you doing?
Super tight. What about yourself?
Doing well. I'm doing well. I've been watching a bunch of the videos, and I'm almost to the point where I'm gonna start taking action. Just a couple things I'm still trying to figure out. For one thing, what do you is there? I plan to get Dealulator / PropStream eventually, but right now I'm trying to look for free options for comping in particular.
Okay.
How do you recommend comping, like a free method of doing comps?
All right. Now Jamil Demji and I did 41 episodes, I think, of Comps 101. In that video, he demonstrated in a lot of them how to use Zillow to do that with. Zillow, you can go watch that, but what you'll probably want to do is transition over to Redfin and do the same thing. Zillow is not that user friendly for that. They could really, but I know they're not targeting probably individuals like us. If they could really do a lot with the way their site is laid out to make that a lot easier. Because just in my opinion, but watch some of those videos and it sort of goes through that process. but you go over to Redfin and do the same thing.
I see. I also, you kind of answered it already. Someone asked earlier, what wholesaling in California, do you recommend it? What are your thoughts on that? That was one of my questions, but she kind of answered it.
Well, her question was, should you wholesale land and or houses out in California?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you're in LA?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, see, man. Okay, we're just talking about wholesaling in general without answering the topic so early.
Okay.
But you're in LA, just Southern California. What about 15 million people, right?
Yeah.
And it's just an endless supply. It's just like a whole nother country. It's not just like it is like a whole nother country, basically. As far as population. So there's an endless supply of opportunity. Endless supply of opportunity. And on top of that, a lot of money out there. And people they trip out when they hear people like myself talk about, oh, I got this house for 15,000, wholesale it for 25. That doesn't exist out there. That doesn't, period. So, but that's a good thing. The reason we can be in a similar type neighborhood and you add a zero out there is because that's what people can afford. So you'll do the exact same thing. My check may be 6,000, yours may be 60. And you just did the same thing in a similar type neighborhood. So yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you,
Look
man.
at it like this. Look at it on top of that, Martin. Look at it like this. It's all about motivated sellers, and life creates motivated sellers. I'm pretty sure people get divorced in California. I know they die there. People lose their jobs and income, all the same stuff. That creates motivated sellers. As a wholesaler, you just have to do a good job of marketing yourself, letting people know you exist. What it all boils down to.
Yeah. Okay. Let people know I exist. Getting bandit signs as I can, or cold calling from Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, all the rest of that, right?
Yes.
All right. Perfect.
Well, let me back up. You said you should target people on Trulia, Redfin, or you mean to comp your properties?
Comp, yes.
Okay, yeah. Well, definitely, yes.
Okay, cool. Perfect,
Yeah,
man.
once you know what you're looking for to comp, then you can use those free resources to comp.
Okay. Also, I have another question about one last question. So about a dialer, right? It dials a bunch of numbers at a time, correct? And then, or did you have a video on this? I might break it down into better detail because I'm kind of confused as to what that is and what it does.
You know what? I gotta do one. I just was discussing this with my people over at Batch Dialer. But as a matter of fact, if you text the word dialer, it's going to take you directly to the site, and they should. Let me look really quick. I think they do. I think they actually have demos of how it works on the site. Batch Dialer. Where are we? Taiwan. Let me see. Image to product overview resources. They don't have an actual video on it that I see here, but you can easily get a demo scheduled on how to use it. But yeah, if you text the word dialer, it'll take you directly to it.
Perfect. DIALER to 205-964-5243. All right, got you.
Hey, there you go.
Sounds good. Thank you, man. You'll see from me again very soon. Great talking to you again.
Man. Yes, sir.
Thanks.
All right. Do you have any on there?
Yes. What's a good place to drive for dollars? That's on Instagram.
What's a good place to drive for dollars?
Yes.
Okay. All right. you're going to have different neighborhood types. You're going to have your A neighborhoods. That's where the most expensive houses are. You're going to have your B neighborhoods, which will be the next level down. Then you're going to have your D neighborhoods. D as in dog. That's going to be where the lowest prices in a particular market are in your area. And then C will be up from that. Okay, so you should be able to figure those out. So why do I bring that up? When you're driving for dollars in a C, D neighborhood, maybe even a B, but definitely C, B, a C and a D, you're going to noticeably see more vacant houses that are obviously vacant in those areas, or they appear obviously to be vacant. And so those are easy to target, right? And jot down, research, reach out to the owner, see if they want to sell, and just go from there or whatever. In the A and B neighborhoods, it may not be as easy to find those. When you see an obviously vacant house in those neighborhoods, it's really going to stick out like a sore thumb, right? Because a lot of times those houses are vacant, but the lawn is still kept up, because that's normally like they identify. The property is still being maintained. Or they just normally just, if that person that owns it doesn't do it, other people in the neighborhood, they just not going to let it happen. It just ain't going to let it, you know what I'm saying? It just don't work that way in a lot of cases. All right. But also when you're out driving for dollars, but the question was where, right? That was the question. Okay. So you say, well, how do I know which, and so I assume people just automatically know that. Some people don't ever really go outside of their area and never have been. For real, like really, I didn't realize that till I watched some of these. I'm assuming this is true. You watch some shows, movies, and like, oh, I've never been past. Well, you know what? I ain't got to go that. One of my friends, he grew up in Birmingham, and this is probably like late 90s. So the Galleria had been open probably 14, 15 years. He said he only had been out there once.
It's not real uncommon, because I thought, like, the kids at my mom's school, some of them kids, they don't like go across town.
Yeah.
Like they never been to Pelham, or they don't. Yeah, or they just don't have nobody to take them nowhere, like to experience things. So when they get older, they do.
I didn't realize that. So my point is, so if you don't know that, then that's what the reason I'm bringing up. That's the power of the internet. Yeah. You go to Zillow, and if you go to Zillow, right, and you put in the name of your city, once you put in the name of your city, I'll just put Birmingham. You put in the name of your city, it's automatically, normally it's going to filter to properties that are for sale, right? And once you look at those particular properties, if you go over, you'll see a heading that says sort by, SORTBY. If you go from high to low, it'll give you the zip codes on where the most expensive properties are in your market. If you go from low to high, it's going to give you the least expensive zip codes in your market. So now you use a map. You can go to Google and do a zip code map. You still may not know. After that information, go to Google and do a zip code map search. There's going to be several options. So go with the one that looks good to you. And so once you see that zip code map, now you should be able to, number one, identify where you live. And then you should be able to see, that's how they get down over here. Oh, these houses cost this. People might never know. You never thought to look at it that way. So the reason I told you what you could possibly, as far as where to search, now it depends on what you're looking for in those different areas, because some of them are not going to be as easy to find, we'll say, quote unquote, vacant houses. But in the areas where the higher price houses are, you may just look for vacant lots, right? Like what they call infill lots. You have a house here, but it's obvious there's a vacant lot in between those houses. Those have real value, if you can get a good deal on them or whatever. So just one food for thought.
All right, this is on TikTok. Let me go back up. Is there anything you can do with the vacant hood houses, or the hood house is not worth the time? And they're in Louisiana, Shreveport.
Shreveport. Yeah, Shreveport. One. Huh?
I see there's a lot of people. It's 300.
Yeah, Shreveport is a decent sized city. It's probably like Mobile, Montgomery, something like that. You know, that side. So they're basically asking, can you do houses on deals? They said the hood, quote unquote, the hood.
It's a lot of, I guess.
Most definitely, right? Now, people live there just like they live anywhere else. A lot of times they're not living there for free, just like anywhere else. They're either paying rent or paying a mortgage, right? That means transactions are happening. Now, a lot of times those areas may be more stronger rental areas than fix and flip areas. So you're dealing with that type of landlord. I mean, that type of an investor, which is when you're trying to build a rental portfolio of some sort. But those opportunities, you still have to get a good deal, and the numbers have to work. Now, if you're seeing a lot of vacant houses on a particular block or whatever, then it can be a little tough to move those sometimes because that's a visual thing. And a lot of investors don't like to deal with those type of blocks. You know, a lot of times in quote unquote the hood is block by block. You can go over one street and everybody on that street care about their lawns, keep the lawn up and stuff. You see the beautification board. Well, they might not have in some cities, but you know everybody caring about the stuff. Not a lot of people hanging out on the street and all of that. Next street over, totally different ball game. So a lot of times, there's not enough consistency. So you have to, number one, learn your market, see what buyers are willing to pay for in those areas, and what's the threshold on what they're willing to deal with or whatever. But most definitely, that's where I've done probably the majority of my deals in Birmingham is in quote unquote the hood or whatever. First deal I ever did, 1232 18th. I ain't gonna get the rest of it. Is definitely there. 35211.
He glad that you corrected me.
What?
To say this.
Oh, Shreveport?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like tell a flip.
If you've never heard it before, you won't know that's what it is. If you've never heard that name before, you won't know what it is. It's just like I'm gonna give y'all a 10 now. One of y'all might know, but no, neither one of y'all probably know. If I spell G-A, this is the name of a town in Mississippi, G-A-U-T-I-E-R. How would you pronounce that? G-A-U-T-I-E-R. G-A-U-T-I-E-R.
I want to try to pronounce.
You see it?
Gautier.
They pronounce it Gaucher.
Oh, I get it.
Wow.
You wouldn't know that though. You know what I'm saying? They pronounce it Gaucher, Mississippi.
It's what America mess up.
Yeah, so that would confuse the crap out of you. You know what I'm saying? Well, how do you get Gaucher from that? Yeah. Or whatever.
It's probably not no kind of American word.
Yeah, that's how they pronounce it.
It's probably not no kind of American word. Just like stuff here, like.
Well, I think it has because it's close to New Orleans. It has a French twist on it or something. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. This one says it came from Bryce Davis. They said, are there any other payment choices for comps? I think they're a little confused.
Are there any other payment
choices for comps? Oh, maybe they're talking about us doing the comps for them.
We have Zelle and Cash App. I guess I can any other payment. What's left? Bitcoin. I'll take some of that.
Oh yeah, you didn't say you was gonna start doing
I'll take that.
They talking about damn PayPal. Talking about some Bitcoin. These folks just want they comps. So I guess the short answer is no. That's all we got right now. This one says, is there an ARV on land for land as well? What if the land is clear or not clear?
That could be a huge factor. If the land is already is clear just because it's clear, there's really no trees on it, not because they've actually done the work to clear it. That'll factor in, because the timber could have some value that's on the land. So it's a number of things that go into that. Ideally, you're still trying to compare likes to likes, if that's an option. A lot of times it may not be an option with land. One of the simple things you can do is just reach out to a broker or an agent, real estate agent that does a lot of deals in that particular market. A lot of times they can tell you what it'll sell for per acre. That's probably the easiest thing you can do.
All right. This one says, should you wholesale in a different city than you live in? You can.
Well, yeah. Me personally, I like to think if you're in a decent sized city like Shreveport, that's big enough. Then you want to start with what you're familiar with. That goes a long way. Now, especially with houses, land not so much. Really, a lot of times it won't even matter with land. But with land, in my opinion, just from the time of trying to do both, it's easier to do it outside of your market or whatever. So.
All right, this one came from Michael M. He said, I actually have both under contract. I have a home and the seller is giving the lot as a package deal. This is in South Carolina. I'm looking to wholesale the package for $55K. Can we work together on this?
What's the ARV? Did you use the deal calculator on dealulator.com, even though it's down? What's going on with that?
It must have just went down.
Somebody that told me before we went on. I had checked it.
I used it earlier.
Yeah.
So I think this person is just making sure they have all the procedures right. They said once you have a purchase contract signed, you take that contract to the title company and put earnest money down. Come back to the title company once you have a cash buyer sign. Once you have the cash buyer sign the assignment contract for closing. Is that right?
You can do it that way. But maybe a situation where your cash buyer doesn't want to use the title company that you've selected. Now, of course, you don't have to use that cash buyer or that investor. And you say, oh, if you don't close with them, I'll find somebody else. So that's up to you. I'm normally going to be flexible and, their input. Remember, they are bringing the money to the table to close this deal. And normally they're going to pay closing costs. But in a nutshell, the way you explain it, yeah, in a nutshell. But you don't want to submit. And another reason you don't want to just submit every property that you get under contract to a title company is because they got to be paid, right? And so some of these ain't gonna work out. That's real. If anybody tells you anything different, stop listening to them. So you could pile up some fees there. Or even if it does close and the buyer didn't want to close there, they still have to be paid. Now you can afford it because you've gotten your money from the deal, but you don't want to have to spend an extra $300 or $400 if you don't have to.
What would be some reasons a buyer won't want to use it?
They don't have a relationship with them.
But could something really bad
A lot of times it just be as simple as that. I don't know them. What my girl said, Jessica?
I don't know.
No, she ain't say it like that.
Who is it, Mariah?
No, on Color Purple.
You always want to refer to Color Purple. Please,
I gotta let Jessica do it.
It's coming out.
I don't know them.
Somebody request the Flip Man to be on Color Purple.
Hey, what was out? They could have gave me. They should have gave me a role. They don't got the new one coming out though. Please, y'all let me get a role. Anything. Let me be the Who? Oh, that's the main character. I can't do no damage. I can't do no mister.
You just need to be one of the cousins.
No, I just need to
extra.
I just need to be the man whenever what the girl name slapped Sophia?
Yeah, on the piano.
Time to go.
Yeah. I would die.
I just need to be him.
All you need is one line.
Or girl, I drank your bath water.
Just one line in that movie.
You can catch a fish without a hook.
But I think, that's when we were telling you we think it might be a musical, more musical than.
I'm gonna sing like Sugar
Let's
David.
move on because now we getting into live.
My name ain't
Now
Squeak.
we getting into live. Okay.
Esmeralda.
Okay. How do you wholesale a property that is listed with the agent?
Good question. How do you wholesale a property that's listed with an agent? Well, it can be done. I don't recommend it. Let me say that first. It's going to sound like I'm being negative, but I'm gonna tell you. Okay, first I'm gonna tell you how it can be done, and then if you figure out the rest if you want to do it. You really need to have a buyer ready to go in this situation. That I determine them being lazy or really like you. You know what I'm saying? Because you haven't found anything that they couldn't find themselves. Now, you may have pursued it and offered something that made it attractive, but you got to have a good relationship with the buyer or buyers that don't care that you pulled this off of MLS. If you got that, all the rest of it can work. Okay, so let's establish that first. Because the first thing is, normally the agent, this is just assuming they're going to accept your offer. We're getting just past that part of it. They're going to assume, so the price that they're asking online, in most cases, let me establish this first, is not a deal. So normally you're going to have to negotiate something significantly lower to make it attractive to buyers, normally, right? Okay, so assuming you accomplish that. In most cases, before you accomplish that, the agent is going to want you to prove that you can pay for it. They call that proof of funds or POF. Now, there's services out there that offer it. I'm affiliated with one of them. If you text the word POF to the number 205-964-5243, follow the instructions. All right, so assuming you got that covered. Next, they're going to want at least $1,000 in earnest money. It's negotiable. You may can get away with $500 or whatever, but normally they want $1,000 or more. If that's not an issue, boom. Next, assuming that the house is either occupied or not. If it's occupied, then obviously that's going to have to be arranged on showing the property. Normally the agent is going to want to be there, blah, blah, blah. If you're in a dual state agent, sir, I'll go back to that part in a minute. But assuming you have your own agent, so your agent would have to structure the other agent normally didn't have to be there. So your agent could probably manage that to make that happen and represent you and your interests. Assume that you have already built that relationship. They know you want to wholesale. They're finding deals for you both. We'll assume you've taken care of that also. Now, if you're in a dual state, I don't know what they call it, but a dual state, and that basically means an agent can represent the seller and the buyer. It's best not to bring your own buyer to the table. It's best to deal directly with that agent that has the listing, because now you give them an opportunity to make full commission. Because normally what happens is real estate agents get paid on commission. The normal percentage is around 6%, 5, 6, whatever's negotiable, but normally 6. It's rare that they list the property, meaning they find the seller, list the property for them, and they find a buyer. Normally they depend on other real estate agents to bring a buyer to the table. So guess what that means? They have to split that 6%. So that now goes to 3%. But if you're in a dual agency state where they can represent the seller and the buyer, then you can give them an opportunity to make a full 6%. In Alabama, it's dual agency. They can represent both. Okay, so it's the reason you want to do that because agents got to pay their bills too. So you're giving them an opportunity to take full commission of their on the property that you're trying to get them to get the owner to take a lot less than what they're asking. Okay, so give you some numbers here. Assuming that they had a property listed for $100,000, all right, and they were going to sell it at that. You're going to agree at that price. I'm just for easy numbers here. So 6% is the commission, so that's $6,000 on 100,000. But if another agent brings the buyer to the table, now that agent doesn't get 6,000, they get 3,000 because they have to split it 3%, 3% of 100,000, 3,000, and not even including what they have to pay their broker if that's the situation. Okay, so now they only make 3,000. Okay, so now let's flip that. So what if it's a situation where the agent was in a dual agency state and they could get the full commission? If you offered 60,000, 6% of 60,000 is 3,600. They still make more money even with a $40,000 reduction on the actual sales price. They make $600 more even if it's sold at 100,000 if they had to split the commission with another agent. Okay, so you say, well, okay, so what does that mean? So, but a lot of agents won't get that. immediately. It's because they don't realize they can actually make more money by getting the seller to take less, because a lot of sellers depend a lot on the agent's opinion on what they should sell the property for. But a lot of times agents are not going to go too low, because guess what? That affects their money, right? The more they sell it for, the more they make. The cheaper you get it, the more you make. That puts you at a resistance from the beginning, but I'll go back to that. All right, so assuming a seller, if an agent goes to a seller and presents an offer to them and say, oh, they lowballing us and we can do better than this, but I'm obligated to tell you the offer has been made or it's in writing or whatever, but we can do better than this, so we're going to decline this. Do you agree? Yeah. Okay. Or they go to them, I don't think we can do any better than this. At $60,000, that's like a $40,000 discount. I don't think we can do any better than this. Whatever you say, fell it. You know what I'm saying? So just by how they go back to them with the offer will matter, right? Okay, so if you got all that in place, then boom, you can make it happen. The world is yours. Now let me just tell you. Let me go back. Okay, again, like I just said a moment ago, when you're dealing with a real estate agent, right? Normally the price that's advertised is not a good deal. They don't last on the internet but a day or two, max, if they're really great deals. Not saying they can't be negotiated into great deals, but normally the price that they put it out there for is not a great deal. Okay, with that being said, understand that the agent, when they think a seller is motivated, they'll go down from $300,000 down to $296,000. That is not a motivated seller. In our world, maybe in their world, but not in our world, a motivated seller would be they go down from $300,000 down to $160,000. That's a motivated seller. The mindset's different. You know what I'm saying? So you got to fight through all of that, because most agents think like that versus what I just explained, that long diatribe I just went through. So there you go. I don't know if I explained it, but there you go. So you can jump through all those hoops. The world is yours, because there's plenty of them properties out there for sale. There are easier deals out there is the point I'm really making.
All right, this is on Instagram. Is there a script for cold calling?
Yeah, if you text the word script, we got the card here. We got the card. I have a video on that. Script.
All right, this is also on Instagram. I'm from Dayton, Ohio. How is the market out here, if you know?
Dayton, didn't I look that up the other day? A couple 100,000 too. It's about the same size as Shreveport. That's big enough. People live there. Houses are not free in Dayton yet, right? Oh, it's good.
All right, let's see. This is also on Instagram. Would you recommend selling vacant lots that are, if it's BO,
for sale by owner?
/ Redfin and or Redfin? Sorry.
Well, it's similar to what I just explained now. If they're for sale online, yeah, you could do it or whatever. For sale by owner, where they're listed with an agent. You still got to have the right type of buyers for those. See, when something is already advertised, you lose some of your superpower as a wholesaler. Still can be done. Got to know what you're doing, though.
You already kind of went over this, but somebody just asked on TikTok, can you explain assignment fees, please?
Well, technically, I didn't. Okay. An assignment fee. Okay, first you got to have something to assign. That's the contract. All real estate transactions start with a purchase and sales agreement. So that contract is assignable, meaning you give up your interest, your position within that deal, as long as it doesn't say it's not assignable or needs the seller approval. So you don't have to add in that and or sign. That's not needed. As long as it doesn't say it's not assignable or needs the seller approval, it's just understood that it's assignable. That's just basic contract law. 2 attorneys told me this, 2 real estate attorneys. So I know what I'm talking about. All right. So one was in Chicago, one was in Birmingham. So I think that's good. Two extremes, right? So so when you assign something, you can do it for free, or you can do what? You can get a fee. Boom, that's your assignment fee. And normally the way we do it is we just do 2 purchase and sales agreements. We do one at one price with the seller, and we do another at a higher price with the buyer, and we get the difference, and that's our assignment fee, or get out of the way fee, or goodbye fee. Hit the road jack fee. There you go.
All right. Okay, this one came from, let's see. I'm kind of skipping around because I know we kind
I
of
feel like
coming
I've
to
been
the
screaming
end.
at y'all. I guess I'm talking to you.
I don't know.
Oh no, you do that sometimes, but not on this level.
Huh?
You did it before. Remember, I was like, they probably like, oh, when you get mad at them sometimes.
I've been talking to you. Y'all.
No, I'm talking about the people on this
No, don't say I'm getting mad. Don't use that word.
Don't use that word.
Don't use that.
If you only turn question,
It get me excited. Just say that.
Spirited debate.
Yeah, spirited.
All right, I'm kind of skipping around because I know we're coming to the end. I want to get the good ones in. Not that there are any bad questions, but you know what I'm saying. This one says, I have what I thought was a serious buyer. He was super interested in the property and volunteered $3,000 earnest money. We signed the assignment contract, but he still hasn't deposited the earnest money deposit. He said, keep in mind, he initially asked for the seller's name and the number twice. Is this a shady buyer?
Well, his actions are showing that he's not holding up his part of the bargain. Have you reached out to them to see why haven't they put up the EMD? I would call them today and let them know, hey, if the EMD is not with whoever you all agreed for it to be with, hey, I'm moving on. Don't even waste any more time with them.
This one says,
and if you can't reach them, that same thing.
Okay, so this one says, I was driving for dollars. I found a vacant home. I found the owners and called them, and they don't answer any of my calls. I've left a message. My next move is to go into gator mode and knock on the door.
There you go. There you go.
All right. You think that's a good idea? Have you done that?
You know I ain't wanting to knock on nobody though.
You bold.
No, I'm not. You think that? No, I'm not. Oh no, no.
How you gonna tell them and then you?
I tell you, hey, just cause I smoke crack, I can tell you not to smoke it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's see.
I'm just saying, they take out they want to. My fat butt ain't smoke no crack. But my point is, just because I do something don't mean I can't tell you not to do the right thing, or because I won't do something doesn't mean I won't tell you to do the right thing.
Do as I say, not as I do.
No. See, the way I would go about it, I would partner with someone that does have the gator in them to go knock on the door. That's what I would do.
You need a gator partner.
Yeah, you need a gator partner. If you ain't a gator to do stuff like that, partner with somebody is gator like that.
I feel you.
Oh, they have no fear.
It depends on where the neighborhood is or like what the house look like that I would knock on the door. Because some of the ones that look obviously vacant that we see, I am not.
Oh, there's some people. Well, just think about it. Just like the lady, remember we went over Collegeville and the lady, we went to buy the dry. I don't know why we was over there, I know, but
yeah.
And the lady was sitting out there finna go in there and knock on the door because they hadn't paid rent.
But that's because that's her property.
But see, even if it was my property, I wouldn't do that. Number one, I know the law is not on your side.
Well, yeah.
You could go knock on the door and politely ask them for rent or whatever. She was going there like she was ready to put them out. Yeah, no, we wouldn't.
No.
It was a dead end too.
Okay, the flip car would have been turned
who
right
drive
around.
That day, but we were finna flip around quick. Then I handle that when that smoke comes out.
But you see what I'm saying though? I think because she has a connection to that house. I'm saying a house that I just see is vacant, and I know I've called them. I know I texted them. They won't return my calls, and I just say, you know what? I'm gonna knock on your door.
See. Well, you know what?
If it was my house, I would.
You know what? you know that's a real hood right there now.
Oh,
right?
it is.
She'll get down like that.
Yeah.
She could come right up in here and work. I got something for her to do.
Oh, you talking about?
Yeah, she.
He's so funny. He said he gonna pose as a landscaper and ask about their vacant home.
Huh?
He gonna pose as a landscaper. Look, I'm here for it. Go in with a plan. Somebody else said,
you got a uniform for that?
Yeah. Alicia said she grew up as a Jehovah's Witness. I'll knock on any door.
I was just going to say that.
Okay.
I was just about to say that.
Since COVID hit, they changed their strategy now because I had something that came through the mail.
No. They probably back. They back. She can probably tell. I ain't putting words on it. But I noticed that because they hadn't been going to the hall for the whole time. Because they based out of New York, so they would they had a different experience. Or that's why I guess they went all over the country. Now I don't know what I'm talking about. I just know I used to talk. I mean, have a good friend. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So anyway, so but anyway, so I think they back at the hall. So I'm pretty sure they back. Back out in the West. I don't know, but I'm sure some witnesses out there you can correct me. But I think they back out. But my point is, like when my former friend. When I was talking to her about cold calling, she said, "Oh, that ain't no problem. I've been knocking doors for this, so I know I can pick up a phone and call people." Where you say you won't believe the responses we get, or whatever.
Of course, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
you need somebody like that.
All types of neighborhoods, from A to D.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
All right. So.
Oh yeah, but Alicia, yeah, she said she grew up. Yeah. Oh yeah, you can be a real gator in this game.
She said they're mailing letters and making phone calls.
Oh, somebody. Oh, okay. They still doing that. Okay. Yeah, that was she would. Yeah, that was she used to do.
I ain't had nobody knock on the door in our neighborhood in a while, and I don't even live in no real bad neighborhood. But I guess. Yeah,
I assumed because I assumed because they had started back going to the hall when I drove by one day. I think it was on a Sunday, and it was full or whatever. I assumed they had started back. What's the name? So. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, did you call him? You didn't call him to see what's up.
Do you know him? All right.
Well, what else to say on Friday?
I can't remember.
Are you ready for it? No, she didn't get cut out. She did the cussing now.
Lord.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
All right.
I'm gonna fall out this chair one day.
Please don't. Okay, this question is in the private chat. I guess they didn't want to come on, but they said, "Hey Ty, we're having issues building a motivated sellers list. What do you suggest?" They purchased PropStream, but they don't know what they're doing, and they've also tried to get in one of the classes, but there aren't any openings. Please help.
Wait a minute now. If you signed up for PropStream through us, you signed up through D later.
I'm talking about some other class.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she probably talking about the accelerator class.
Yeah.
Text the word time, right? Boom. And we'll get you hooked up on the PropStream Digulator if you sign up through Digulator. If you need to do that, we're gonna train you on how to use that. One of those magical tools, and got more coming. Oh, we got a good tool coming next week for you laying people that want to get in that. Text the word tool.
I knew I wasn't getting hot for a week.
Oh, you getting hot?
That's what I said. It's about to be 8
Oh my God.
No, it is though.
No, yesterday I was sweating in here.
My body be right.
I'm warm, but we can't. You know what I'm saying? It's too loud. It's too loud.
I got a long sleeve shirt and it's 8 degrees.
Yeah.
We're gonna do this one question and then we're gonna go to the topic.
Okay.
It's from Jacory. He said, "Hey Ty, how's it going? There's a seller who wants to sell a 2.5 acre lot. How can I clump this lot if there are no other lots within a 1 mile radius to match it?" Okay,
great question. He wants to know how can he comp a lot? It's over 2 acres and he doesn't find anything within a mile of his property. That's one of the things about land. You can easily go out 5 miles or whatever. It just depends. So just don't be stuck on a mile by no means.
The pool's coming next week.
The who? Mm-hmm. But the tool coming next week. Yeah, y'all going. Yeah, yes.
All right. And what is the topic for today?
The topic for today: should you start or should you? Let me see. Should you start wholesaling houses or land first? Look at that boy. That dude
Perfect. I don't know what happened.
he is talented.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good thumb, man.
Mm-hmm.
It only took me. Normally, they take me a long time to come out. It ain't take me long to figure that one out. All right. So, if you've been watching recently, you know I've been talking about land a lot more lately. Put some things together, made a little bread on it so far. And I hate to use the word easy or easier, but it just seems like, and we're doing the same thing to target people that own houses. Maybe they just, I don't know. It's same thing, but the response rate is just totally different with houses and land. Maybe it's a thing where people are tired of paying taxes on the land. They had some intent for it. Yeah, they initially had some intent for it. And hey, I ain't finna do that more. Y'all right on time. Or whatever. Maybe it's some of that. What you think? Yeah. Maybe it's a lot of that. I don't know, but it just
unless they paying like really cheap tax.
A lot of times it's pretty cheap, but it's still money or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And they probably have to worry about is anybody throwing trash out there on their property and all that kind of stuff. You know, well, it just depends. Sometimes you have to cut the grass or whatever. So, but the response rate is just, especially and I'm doing outside of this market, you know, just targeting nationwide, literally. Now the way I'm going about doing is a little expensive. You know, well, cold calling, text messaging, but through Google AdWords also, that's the expensive part of it. The only thing, the trade-off of that is, and this tool that we're going to have next week will probably help a lot. And there's some free ways of going about determining the value. The biggest difference though, for especially someone new that's starting out, houses, for me now, maybe that's just my little pea brain, houses are easier to figure out if you have a deal or not, right? That's the biggest difference as far as the advantage that houses have. Now, the advantage with land, I think for the most part, is less that goes into it. And especially if you're doing it virtually, you don't have to worry about the boots on the ground part of it as much. Because a lot of times the seller doesn't even live near it. Whether they even leaving it, if they live in the same area or market or city, the land probably is 10 or 15 miles, 15 minutes away from. A lot of times they don't even live in the same state, just from my experience of all the leads we get coming in on a daily basis. I hate to choose one over the other, but if you got the right tools and you understand how to comp land, it's going to be easier to start there. Less competition, just because of what I'm saying. Most people are afraid of it. People that are seasoned with houses avoid land because they don't know if they got a good deal or not. I was one of them. I wasn't even willing to even look into it for real. And I just got part of the reason why I put all this content out is to help you, of course. But a lot of it is people just reach out to me all the time, and I learn something or think about things differently than I ever thought about. And I had a magical call about 3 months ago, just like that. The call was intended to be something else, but it turned into something else or whatever. And I was one of those people. I got land deals over the years and just did them because they were just a no-brainer, but I definitely wasn't targeting them. Now it's like a serious target. It's just, I'm going to say, if you figure out whether you got a deal or not part of it, if you got to choose between the two, you can't do both. There's nothing prevents you from doing both. Land, because the entire country is yours. I guess it would have to be, would you all agree, and this is not probably no brain surgery. Mm-hmm. Okay, so each parcel of land is like a house. So a house is a parcel, then you got parcels of land. Mm-hmm. So it has to be many, many more parcels of land available than it is actual houses, right? Because you can just ride for miles without seeing houses, but every one of those, every time you passing parcels, you basically, if those are houses, those would be houses. If you were driving from here to Atlanta, from Birmingham to Atlanta, 2 hours, at some point you just don't see number woods. And that's going to continuously be, and that's pretty much anywhere from driving from New York to Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? But all of those are owners. People own those. So, and that's only just what you can see. It ain't even include what you can't see. So I guess you have so many more people you can target, right? And it just, I have to go with land. I hate to be 19 years in this thing and just figuring it out, but hey, I ain't dead yet, so I guess we still can get it in. So I'm just telling you, just dead serious. If you just had to choose between the two, there's no question in my mind. Once you're comfortable with knowing if you have a deal or not, because that matters. Even with houses, you still have to know that, regardless of which one it is. Land is easier, in my opinion. Less competition. You can do it from anywhere without having any help from anyone for real. And there's more of it to target. And a lot of times you can't even, with houses, you can't even target rural areas because you're not going to have a buyer. We're talking about wholesaling now. You're not even going to have a buyer. But with land, a lot of times that doesn't even matter. You would talk to a lady now. She wants too much for it. 141 acres in Ohio. She wants $1 million for it, but I don't see anything to justify that number. But I'm gonna get some help on it, get an opinion on it. But just like that, she just wants to get rid of it. Say, she house burnt down in Pennsylvania where she lives, but she just needs to sell this tract of land. Try to get back on her feet. Just like that. That was just a call. That call came from Google AdWords from my website. 141 acres. Now it's in a small town or whatever, but still 141 acres. People will pay for that, and some people will just pay for that just to hunt on. Just period.
Yeah, my family in Flatwoods, they used to do that. They used to rent their land
out
for people to hunt on.
That's big business. That's big business. That outdoorism, that's big business. I don't care to do none of that, but anyway. So
somebody asked on here, Indira, she said, do you partner on land?
Most definitely.
Okay.
That when you get excited with these people.
Yeah.
When people ask that kind of question.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah. Over others, man.
That's exciting.
All right. Oh my girl, she ain't even warming up. It's almost 4:30.
I hear somebody.
Yeah, they over there talking though. Yeah. All right, what you got, Jennifer?
All right, this one says, when I order my bandit signs, I ordered magnet signs for my car. Is that good? I'm gonna knock on their door and tell them I have a 2-for-1 special on grass cutting. That should open the door. I'm here for it. Definitely go to the door with a plan.
Hey, the plan is, hey, I've been trying to reach you on this property that the county say you own at 123 Main Street. What is your problem? You won't sell it? I'm just tripping. But yeah, that's an interesting plan. I don't think you have to. I don't think you have to do that. Just go ask them. Just at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Tell them, hey, you was driving around, you saw the house over there, and from courthouse records show that you still own it. Would you be interested in selling it? Yeah.
Young Stacks 205. So that means he here somewhere.
205.
He said he closed his first deal today. It was $4K.
Cha-ching.
Yay.
Cha-ching.
What do you do if the owner is deceased?
Well, if the owner is deceased, what do you do if the owner is deceased? Well, they got to have some relatives, heirs. Well, they don't have to. I guess you could technically pay it. You could really, well, I guess it's possible to really outlive everybody. Is that possible? I guess everybody's family dynamic ain't the same.
Yeah, if you just don't have a lot of family, you could, I guess, be really on your own.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could literally outlive everybody.
Or you could be on vacation with everybody. I'm just
He's on vacation. But yeah, but normally they have heirs, and so you want to follow that trail.
So in the chat here, they said there are no kids on the obituary.
But do they have siblings?
Yeah, it's still.
Do they have cousins?
Keep going.
Because it'll keep going. It doesn't have to be kids. It can be brothers and sisters. It can be cousins, or whatever. So
I have some follow-up questions about the land.
Mm-hmm.
What's the average land deal flip?
I have no idea. Only done 2. Hey, one of them was, I'll tell you, I know I don't like to throw numbers out there. One of them 10.5 and some change. I did text him. I ain't getting no word about. Hopefully my money get here tomorrow. The other, I ain't gonna put the other one out there. It's more. 10.5. I can just tell all my folks that's already spent. The other one is more. Mm-hmm. Well, I'll just say it. Ain't no tripping. It can't make me give them no money. The other one is 19.5, and those are splits. So really, one of them was 21,000, and the other one was almost 40,000. Those are splits. Mm-hmm. That's just my half of it. One of them was in Miami, and one of them was in near Gulf Shores in South Alabama.
All right. How do they reach you for a land partner?
Just text me.
What do they text?
Or what they would mean? They got someone they want to send over?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just text me and say I got this. I'll need. This is what we'll need on land. If you're trying to send some land over to me, number one, as always, it can't be advertised anywhere on the internet. I don't know if I either people don't listen or just do what they want to do or whatever. But if it's for sale on the internet, Tyrone is normally not going to be answered. If you send over 100 properties that are listed on the internet, 101 of them I'm not going to be interested in. You get that? Mm-hmm. I said 100, 101. Okay, so I don't even get it. All of them. That's what that means. Mm-hmm. So that's the first thing. Number 2, you need to be dealing with the owner directly, not your partner. You actually talk to them. If you contacted me, and then sometimes there's not an address of land. So the second best thing you can do is either get the parcel number and or get another address that the owner owns, and I can look it up that way. Ideally, the size, and we can figure that out once we have the address. Okay. And the price, hopefully. That's it.
Do you do land deals in Florida?
And I just said Miami.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Somebody said they on
here. That was just a lot.
They're dealing with they said I'm dealing with my father is deceased, and you have to deal with the bank directly because the debt belongs to the bank and the deceased person, so no one can intervene. And then they also said unless the property is inherited, then you deal within the inherited living relatives.
Tell me what they said.
Basically, they're saying that you can't intervene. You have to deal with the bank.
Oh, they just making a statement.
Yeah, they're talking about
they make a statement
with the heirs and stuff. Yeah. That's about it. In the chat, they wanted to know how can they contact you directly. You can't. You can text your questions or anything else to 205-964-5243.
Well, see, that means they don't be to watch the video. See
I know, yeah.
But
in the chat, she was saying that she'd be texting the number, but they haven't gotten the videos back. So it could be.
Oh, if you got T-Mobile, have T-Mobile, you have to call down and ask. I think it's called business text. That needs to be activated on your account. I think like 25% of T-Mobile doesn't. I think that's it. Now, sometimes you might be with another server. T-Mobile is the network that you're operating on, whatever. So that's it. All right. So, all right, guys, we really appreciate everyone joining us today. If you didn't get your question answered, post it in the comments section of any video. I answer those on a daily basis. If you're on TikTok or Instagram, tap the link in the bio. That'll take you over to that playlist. I didn't put up VIP today, did I? But VIP is the letters you want to text. You want these
on the bottom.
In the most order. What's it?
probably on the bottom.
Right here. Well, VIP. If you text VIP, that's a step-by-step process of videos. It's like 9 videos. There's more than that on there, but it's 9 videos. The first 9 will give you a good understanding of how all of this works. This will go into replay mode on all of these platforms, and hopefully we had a pretty good daily show today. So hopefully y'all learned something and learned from some of you all. So, boom.
All right, bye.
See you on the flip side.
Text me and I'll text you back.
Text me, and I'll text you back.
Text me and I'll text you back.
You text me, then I'll text you back.
Text me then I'll text you back.
TikTok, you don't stop.
I will help you make your paper stack.
Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now?
215-964-5243. Now you know.